We got freestyle.
I know I can read the camera going through the pics. I can see that Philly just been flicking through on the weather.
I'm excited about this. I'm there about to hit you about it. Man, I'm about to get moving.
It's I got Chris over at Dog.
I saw that.
Oh my God. Let him up.
He's the dogs out. Get the rings out. Where you bling at?
You got a burner song, Burn the city on now. Like a star. All right, it's arson. You got burn stuff.
You gotta learn this guy, man.
We all gonna die for the test.
You gotta have a mind, huh?
You gotta get to the studio, man, to clean that in.
Yeah.
So at least have the one with ready for the shooting. I can go get it.
All right. Let's get to it. Right. Okay, let's get to it, because he's about to get turned up. Let's get to it. I gotta cut it off. Y'all know they get to go crazy. All right, so listen, hey, we back. Peace, love, and light, everybody. We back. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in with us. We got our boy back on
I'm back, so you know what that means.
Like he never left. We're glad to have you back. We miss you.
For sure.
All right. Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, but we just holding it down for you, you know? Yeah. We're trying to do what we can do when we can do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't reach to the top shelves though.
If y'all don't know, glad to have the brother back, man. He's actually been working on a project. You know, that's gonna be something phenomenal. Everybody really kind of got a lot of things going on. Man. Big shout out to Brother Roberts.
Hi, Winter.
Brother Roberts is taking it easy for the day, for the week actually.
We miss you, Brother Roberts. We'll see you soon.
The whole thing is definitely, just staying moving and staying activated. And it just always be a good thing when we all be here, man. What's up, Brother Rodney?
Hey, doing what's happening?
And then we got a full house in the studio today. Man, we got a full house in the studio today. We got our folks from Ethiopia.
I would say his name every time you see it.
I say Enoch, but he says Indo. I really want to say it's full name, but I have to get the pronunciation down all the way. That's that southern accent, so y'all forgive me. Forgive me, Yeah. I like to call you that. It's a cool name, right?
It's a good name, man.
It's a good name.
And we have Mahara. Mahara. I love Mahara.
Now, is that the first name or is that the last name?
Mahara.
First name, right? So that big shout out to
The meaning. What's the meaning? I got that.
Mahara. In the Maori language, it means memory, intuition. In Arabic, depending on the accent, mahir, skill and talent. In East Indian language, Maharaja, Maharani, that's king and prince. And so there's a lot of influence.
Wow.
What's the
They don't understand.
Well, the name is so important. The name is so important. So I know a lot of times folks, in Africa and our culture, before they name you, they kind of get a vibe and understand who you are, right? There's some synergy, right? And then they bless you with a name, right? So I think, when we're talking about each other, it's good that we pronounce each other's name properly, but understand the true meanings behind it. Well, everybody's name got meaning.
Right.
So I think that's very important for us to do this thing. So man, listen, it's another hot day. It's 100 degrees today. Right? So,
I love it.
I'm enjoying it.
Hey, we are before the sun. I love it.
Right.
I love it. I embrace it. I love it.
Right.
It's not like right now.
I almost got some sunscreen. It's that hot.
I'm cold.
I say,
I'm
hold up.
freezing right now.
I don't know if my melanin is working right. No. It was hot.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Why you say that?
Out of the mud, man.
I love it.
What, today?
It was hot.
And we'd be crying if it was snowing and all this extra stuff going
Well,
on.
I'm not talking about it. I love it.
We appreciate the warm weather. I'm not complaining.
I'm not.
What we're saying is
I'm
that
not
we
in it.
appreciate the sun because we are melanated people.
Yeah.
And we are supreme beings. And we have to understand that, right? This badge of honor, the skin that we wear is a representation. And it's given to us from the Most High. So we can protect ourselves. And we need that vitamin D. Me and Brother Jalil were talking about the other day, you need to go out at least for an hour, 2 hours, soak in that sun and get it in you. So it's
Honorable Minister Louis Faircon said we need to at least be out there 30 minutes every day. That's what he said.
so,
I'm just
One of the
saying.
ways to fight the COVID-19 is to build your immune system.
That's what he said. I
by
heard him say it.
naturally from the sun.
we get your COVID shot.
Well, I ain't getting it.
Bro, what is it?
Hey, I had to put him on the spot.
Yeah, he started. I saw him with a band-aid on. He started. You saw the band-aid on?
I don't know what the hell started with the kick. He must have got a shot or something. I had to put my seat.
No.
Just checking vitals in the next team. He had to know the skin.
Okay, no skin.
No, don't do my brother like that. No, I know better than that.
Hey, listen, man. What they said is being you taking care of yourself. You don't got to worry about getting vaccination.
I don't shoot myself up. I ain't let you do.
Right.
Simple as that.
I'm not a big fan of needles and pins, but I just, what I'm saying, I know some people. The thing is, if you're taking care of yourself, you're washing your hands, you're staying clean, you got your mask on, because also we're protecting our elderly, folks who want to be protected, right? I think, and you eating properly, exercising, working out, I think you're going to be all right. But we've been doing that for the past couple of years, and I think it's
Good. And we ain't trying to we ain't making fun of the COVID-19 virus. We don't make fun of that at all. We not so
We're not saying that it's not a thing.
yeah, we not saying it's not a thing. We just with us it's just no one really honestly don't see the point of this vaccine. People are still dying off this vaccine. It's kind of like.
But is it a vaccine or is it just a shot, right? Because the flu shot is not a vaccine. The flu shot is a shot.
Yeah,
And you have to get a booster. It's a shot.
Yeah,
This ain't no vaccine. And I want them to stop calling it a
adding
vaccine.
on
It's
to
not a vaccine.
My real issue is the government, big pharma, and all these medical epidemiologists, virologists, they all pushing it so hard. I know something wrong. You ain't never pushed nothing this hard ever on earth.
So Jaleel, how do you feel about this? Because I have an issue with it. Like, so how do you feel about this? Like, everybody's saying like it's not FDA approved. It's not FDA approved, and then all of a sudden FDA approved. Just like that.
You gotta look at it like this.
Fresh.
The FDA, part of the government. The government been wicked since its incision. 1776, it was founded on evil. The founding fathers wrote it out based on evil. Their intentions was never for the darker people in America. So all the darker people should be afraid to even think about trusting them over the God that they believe in. Because I find it ironic that black folks are some of the most spiritual people on the planet. But all of a sudden, the spirituality on left out the room when it came to Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca. Jesus can't even be mentioned. What happened to baby Jesus? Well, look, we need this because if you don't take it, you're going to give it to them and they going to die. So my mind went to this. I know a bunch of children with cancer. I know a bunch of young people with early childhood diabetes, and they can't afford the insulin or the chemo treatment. Why we can't get that free like you doing this so-called vaccine? If you really care about people's life, I know a bunch of children. My daughter had leukemia. I went through 3 years of chemo. The $960 fee after you pay for the drug, that's your portion. You got to cover.
Yeah, my cousin also had leukemia.
So you didn't, but you say you care about life, but you don't really care about these children. Make that insulin free.
Then all of a sudden you act like you care about life. What's really?
No, you don't really care.
You ain't never cared before.
No, and then the doctors, the medical doctors, hurt me to my heart because they not telling nobody the other side. You can tell your side based on your data and your science, which we know can be manipulated. And science change every day. So you don't tell them intermittent fasting. Eat proper foods. Ingest things that'll boost your immune system naturally. So if you don't go look at, as they say, the data, nobody under 40 that didn't have pre-existing health conditions, that didn't take the vaccine for COVID, didn't die. See what I'm saying? They didn't die.
I'm intermittent fasting. I do 16. But we also want to say that we are not bashing the people that have been vaccinated. And the ones that choose to do it, because at the end of the day, it is your choice. It's your body and your choice. We're not bashing anybody that does it. So please don't feel like that we're bashing this because it's not our choice to take it, or if it is your choice to take it, it's again your choice, absolutely your choice. So we're not bashing anybody that does that. However,
confused about it.
However, that's what this platform is for, to voice your opinion on how you feel about whatever it is that you feel about. And I personally feel like, damn that. But it's my personal opinion, right? So, and it's everybody's opinion, how they feel about it, Darius feels how he feels, Juan feels how he feels, Liv feels how he feels. And
there's been century opportunities for this government to take on this here in this country. And then just out of the blue, all of a sudden, it's just such an important thing that everybody just take this shot to the point where y'all want to force people to have to take it to work, in order to work, in order to go to school. Like, come on.
Too, when you talk about it, I think, the only thing I said is like, shouldn't be mandated. I think we should be mandating that for folks who like to travel or folks who are sitting in public school. I think, it's a way that, we can go about it, people's choice without, making them do something. Because that's when you're going to get a lot of pushback. Just like that situation that took place at the Jimmy building the other day. Those Caucasians came up in there threatening public health officials. I think, that's the type of incitement that you get when you try to force that on people. And, just in general, that was a crazy situation in itself, man. You know what I'm saying? For folks to really go in there and storm and just kind of build insurrection again, right? And go in there and threaten public health officials. You know, it's causing maybe people is causing a lot of feelings, and it brings up a lot of issues. So I think we want to stay away from that part of things. What y'all think about that yourself? About the situation in Chicago?
I think that it was grass.
Think what?
Grass. That's not how you operate. That's not how you do things. That's not how you voice your opinion. You don't go in there and you threaten people just because of it. Because here's the thing, and this is kind of two-part. Answering your question and just saying this to her. A platform where you voice your opinion is where you voice your opinion. And it may be seen one-sided to you because you're on the other side, but you're more than welcome to come in here and voice your opinion. So it's not one-sided just because we all feel the same way about how we feel about the shop, right? We all feel the same way. We just happen to feel the same way. However, if Darius decided tomorrow that, you know what, I did a little more research, I changed my mind, I'm gonna take the shot. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. I'm not gonna feel a way about it. Right. Change his mind. It's the way that he thinks. So it is. It's just this happens to be a platform, and you're more than welcome. We put the number on there, so about it, you can call in and talk to us about it. FaceTime. I'll put you.
Trust and believe.
Do it right now.
Anybody got any questions?
Our phone number is 810-447-3454. I'll FaceTime. Call me. I'll put you on right now. You can put your opinions about it.
Well, anybody want to say something, let's make sure that we do respond to you. We put questions up here and we talk on the live. We do respond. So for folks who do have questions, there's a hotline number that's out there. At the same time, too, if you'd like to put a question up here on the live, we read those questions off and we try to answer those. We do have some special guests coming in today. So we really want to provide real good insight. The show is about a platform to be informative. So really wanted to get that engagement. So I know today's conversation is going to be centered around, of course, and water crisis. Right? We are all very much familiar with water crisis and the effects of lead, right? And everything that took place due to failed leadership, right? Across the board. But then also, Ms. Claire McClinton be kind of introducing some concepts and things that we can kind of fight back, advocacy role, but then also petitions. So I think it's some really good information that's going to be shared about the water crisis, and also what we can do as next steps. And then another thing that we do discuss today, we'll talk about the crime, right? We got a number of crime, we got a number of violence taking place in the community. We got issues that just need to be resolved. We need to make sure that look at this as value of people, because this is a situation where a family conversation has to be shown. We really have to look at putting a good plan out there for our people to ensure that we're not taking each other out, right? So we expect to be strong. We have to be one-minded. We have to be on one accord. Always understand that we're on the same side. So I'm excited about today's discussion. Lil, what you on? You're on the mix, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to straighten out bottom and all that.
So what I was saying was, I'm gonna go back into that because I wanted you to finish what you were saying. But I just wanted to make sure that we're saying that we're not being biased about anything. We're not looking at a one-sided coin, right? We are looking at both sides of the coin, but we feel how we feel. Right, and so to go back to what you said about what happened, about them. I think that it just shows that we just all over the place, right? We just can't even come together and have a conversation about it. We can't openly discuss it without us want to attack each other. It should not come down to it being a fight, or wanting to jump on somebody, or wanting to, I know what it is. So, about wanting to jump on somebody or making a big to do or threaten somebody because they feel how they feel, right?
Right.
It should not come down to that, and that's ridiculous. What it is, the people that we have for the business highlight, remember they were supposed to come back and talk about it for the block party.
Yeah, so I think definitely, as it relates to just in general, we got a number of different things going on today. We do have some block parties taking place, so we'll be bringing in our partners.
Yeah.
That we kind of make an
Yeah,
announcement
from
because
Carlisle.
we really want to also highlight black business. All right, our thing is always highlight black business, and so we do have Call My Eyes Barber and Beauty Shop. They're in the studio. We're gonna talk to them, but we just gonna have some real engagement with each other. Just kind of keep it free flowing and good conversation.
I ain't gonna have an opportunity to address the city on the violence. So, calls, it seems like I get calls every day. So another person. But what hit me the most was Tay that's the unfortunate situation. It's a good friend of my daughter. And that was just like the sixth one of her friends, my 15-year-old. It's the sixth one of her friends this summer that she's lost. So we talking about from the age, not even grown. We talking about the age between the age 14 and 18. 6 people she lost this summer. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. And it's very it's very.
I don't
sad.
think we grasp the concept of what he's saying.
We not, and they don't understand like when we losing our soldiers, our future soldiers, but we playing into the hand of the evil one, of that evil entity that's been running this country. We playing into their hands by doing the things that they, kind of what they want us to do. And right now, it's at all. It's just ridiculous. Like life just don't matter, and I'm hurt. I'm hurt by it.
I think it may seem like that. I think what I'm saying, like this has been a long time of disinvestment because this is how we come up and just perpetuate the same thing that we saw. These young boys doing the same thing. So it ain't nothing different. It's like it just gets worse every time. Like I think we were getting tail end of it before the schools closed. Now you look at it now, they ain't got the school to go to, they got activities to do, community centers to go to. We was at least had some of that type of stuff, whether it was boxing, whether we playing ball, or football, whatever the case, like we had opportunity. They don't got that. So we can't even fully, blame it on, our young people for trying to find something or make something out of nothing.
No, I ain't
got to do what we got to do. Now, it's not even saying you blame it, but I'm saying, like, we
what
got
I'm
to have some
saying
stuff
is,
in place for them.
yeah, we do have to have something in place. I'm not, trust me, y'all heard me say this plenty of times. I would never put the blame on none of our team, on none of the teammates. First and foremost, they done had the worst go at life anyway. They'd have been poisoned purposely. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They get the worst end of the education. They took away their education and everything. Like they already trying to take them away.
Yeah, they closing out everything.
The biggest, like I said before, I will always apologize for. I can't apologize for my whole generation, but for me as a part of that generation, for felling those up under me. You know what I'm saying? Felling those under me, because had I been doing the right thing and not doing 13 years in prison, there may be some young men I could have grew up that could have been different. You know what I'm saying?
But then again, I gotta take, because I'm older than you, so I gotta take the blame. We dropped the ball for you.
Yeah,
we dropped the ball for you, so we didn't do the things that we needed to keep you from doing 13 years. We did.
See, that's the accountability piece, and I like that, right?
We did.
We always say like our grandfathers did it. They was like they worked like 5, 6 jobs, right? And my grandfather worked for $1 a day. He had 10 kids, so it was like real hard to really kind of hear that. Saying him being successful, being an electrician, plumber, and GM, doing all these other side jobs, 7, 8 tracks and stuff. He was doing different stuff. He was hustling, right? And he had passed all that over to my uncles, and they just messed that all up, man. I be telling them all the time, man. I be so mad at them because we had all this stuff, but you know what I'm saying? They jacked it off because they lived a good time, right? And they didn't even really grasp the concept of what they had. Now we ain't got that, and they looking like, yeah, man, I think we jacked that off. Right. So now we in a position now to say, like, all right, now we got to pick up we left off. You know what I'm saying? Restructure, and then make sure that at least we doing our part for the generation.
What definitely got me addressed and talking about, and I don't think about this. Because you hear people say, well, I ain't no role model. I ain't saying I want to be a role model. You know what I'm saying? I think about the people that's music first and foremost. we have to hold our goods accountable. It's music. Everybody killing their ops in this music. This is crazy. Now these boys out here really trying to find some ops and kill them. Like, at some point, you gotta be like, okay, look, I don't even that I believe it though. I ain't gonna keep talking like that. You know what I'm saying? If you know people last on these things, I know everybody's saying, well, I'm not a world model. I just do music. To whom much is given, much is required. Absolutely. It just is what it is. Absolutely. You got a platform. You gotta do right with it.
But you also have to understand that when you get in those positions, whether you want to be a role model or not, people are looking at you. Okay. So you have to conduct yourself accordingly. So if you want people to see you in a certain light or a certain manner, then you have to conduct yourself accordingly. And whether you want to be a role model or not, you out there. So damn it, it's your job. It's your job now because you out there. And so if you don't want to be out there and you don't want that to fall on you and you don't want people looking at you in that way, then you need to step back and get out of it. But it comes with the territory. And whether you like it or not, it's the territory. So you have to conduct yourself accordingly. And so if your platform is going to be whether you are advocating for Black Lives Matter or you're advocating for children and sports or whatever it is, then that's where you have to be. And I'm not saying that you got to be on the front lines and you got to just go out and you got to do those things, but you have to conduct yourself in the way that you want people to see you. And whether it be you saying that you're a role model or not, it is what it is, right? Because people are looking at you. So when we get up here and we looking at it, whether we know it or not, somebody may be looking at us as a role model. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, it wasn't that ain't never been my testimony or my ministry to be a role model. However, in the places that I am and the things that I do, I have to be there. So when I was doing these things with my children and I'm out there and I'm having these games all the time and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, I'm a role model for some other mother that's coming up and seeing me and seeing that I'm activated with my kids, right? And that I never missed the practice, I never missed the game. But that came with the territory. It wasn't that I looked out to do that. It just is what it is.
So look at this, I got an idea. You in the music, why don't you start a push a knowledge of self challenge in the music? And if it get big enough, if the heavy hitters just drop a few bars teaching knowledge of self to the young people, because they listen to them, that'll begin to change some of the thought process of all the filth that's being fed into their minds from all the other stuff. Because knowledge of self will produce self-love. When you get self-love, it's hard for you to kill somebody that look like you if you love yourself. As Brother D said, you never seen a guy that was going to kill a guy look like him say, I'm finna go kill my brother. I'm finna go kill my sister. He said, I'm going to kill this. He called, So I think all these challenges, they got the crate challenge. We start the knowledge of self challenge.
Lean. Fine. There's a lot of living rooms now. TVs on the floor now. A lot of bedrooms and beds on the floor now. And all that stand, all that furniture.
That looks pretty fun.
I want to complete it.
That's what it's like.
I just want to say that Devon Robinson is 130 pounds somewhere. He gonna break every damn bone in this body. Y'all get this cat. Oh my God.
I mean, it looks so fun.
I'm recording. I'm recording.
It's like a chance.
Who got some crates? Because I'm coming to pick them up. I'm putting in my truck.
That's a valid point, and I am gonna that's a call I am gonna make. Man, I do want to make that call. If you in the music, doing music, you got a platform right now. You in Flint, wherever you are, just let's start pushing some music that's about self love, that teach people about they self. Like they don't know who they are no more. These young men don't know who they are. It took me 35 years to figure that. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't around the right people. Sad that I started learning about self incarcerated. You can attest to that. But you know how the brothers be in it. You know what I'm saying? They start when you got time to reflect, you start building on you. So you run into some real brothers. But some of them don't come home, so we stuck out here in the streets with some of these suckers. We need y'all to come on, man. Y'all gotta see, like, these your brothers and sisters too. Like, come on, man.
You know what though? I think, you know what I'm saying? Like when we just talking about getting back out there and value, no, it didn't start valuing until we really made it a point to start valuing each other. Like brother was saying, we started speaking to each other with life, right? We talk about power. I don't even call them my homies or my friends. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, I don't call them like, I call them brother, man. So I always call everybody brother. So that's a sign of like, you know what I'm saying, that's respect for me. I'm showing you respect, value you, acknowledge you as a brother. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm only here to support you, right? Vice versa. That's how we got to start talking to each other. We should be talking to our young people the same way. Even in our home. You gotta understand this stuff starts in our home. How we treat our women, you know what I'm saying, how we dealing with our children. Gathering around a bunch of nonsense, man, you know, graduate a bunch of nonsense. You sitting up there teaching and building with them and showing the way to go. And showing, even if you're not with their mom. Trust me, I know that's a hard task for a lot of people. You got to co-parent like a bug. But you know what? Even though no matter what, we always know that somebody's watching, somebody's loving. So I know I got a small daughter and a young son. I know he watching me. That don't mean his mama ain't getting along. So I always gotta be mindful of that. And so I always try to speak with life around him, even about her.
Yeah.
I mean, she can be the roughest snake in the room, right? You know what I mean? I'm trying to tell you, but the thing is, like, we gotta have respect for each other. So I always even tell my children, like, man, regardless of what we're going through, we're going through a custody battle, all that right now. But regardless of anything that we're going through, it's about y'all. So I pull all my feelings away to the side just to make sure you straight and your sister tight. And so you know how I'm operating, how I'm doing this because it's valuing y'all. So I think, you know, when we doing that, man, it really shows that we can get along. Black people can work stuff out, can do business with each other. First, we have to trust one another. We got to be understanding of people's circumstances. And these are just basic principles that a village should have. I'm saying should be carrying those things out.
Yes, and so with that being said, we have a group right now that are perpetuating some of that generational wealth, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are doing some of that. They have it going on. They got this black business going on. We have Ron Johnson.
That sounds like a football name.
His daughter Brianna, right?
Yep.
And we have Brianna.
What's
coming
up,
on.
Fame One?
And then we got Pain.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got Pain coming in.
Can we get it? Okay. All right, man. Our family and our folks heading out, man. We'll be connecting with y'all very soon.
Thank you for coming.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have them coming in.
Come on in, man. Show? Oh, okay. No problem.
We'll give you this.
So we got, yeah, there you go. Okay.
Brianna, how are you?
Yeah, we should do that.
So we got our special guest up here, which has a black business in the city. We want to make sure that we highlight. We have our black business highlights this Saturday. We'll be at Caught My Eye Barber and Beauty Shop, located on
6502 North Second.
and we want to make sure everybody come on. It's a block party, right? And we're talking about supporting black business, patronizing black business. We know how hard it is to operate a black business. We know the price will be a little different. You know, vendors always want to tax a little bit more. Sometimes our people want to go to the dollar store price. But no, what we gotta understand is we gotta always have a support system. Always know, even if it's $1, $2 more, man, I'm supporting you for the cause. It's bigger than just, you know, the product. It's bigger than just, you know, trying to save a few dollars. I'm planting the seed, right? So man, we got our family up here, right? And they gonna tell you a little bit about their business, make some announcements. And we expect to see y'all at that block party buying up all the product.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You just spoke on the price thing, and I just wanted to touch on that. The way things are now, you don't have to pay more to support us. The business structure that we're in, a lot of what we found out is that you've been overpaid. And they charge what they want to charge. So, and that's been a lot of the conversation when we meet people, tell about the story, like, well, even if your price is higher, it's like, they're not.
It's the whole price.
So let me say this because I've been in the store and I patronize. I ain't ask for a homie discount or none of that. I come in there and I pay what I pay. However, I can really speak on that. The prices are very competitive. And so when I went in there, I can say that I looked at it and I was just like, damn, I have been overpaid when I came in there. No, seriously, I ain't even saying that to push it. I'm just saying that to say that what he's saying is for real. And I also want to say that it made me want to go back in there because when I went in there, their customer service was impeccable. I'm not even gonna lie. Their customer service was impeccable. And if anybody know me, know I get an attitude about customer service. Listen, that is a pet peeve of mine. When I go into a store and the customer service is trash, I am pissed. And I will speak on it and I will not go back. I won't even give it a second. Listen, I won't even spend it again. I'll leave and then that's it and I'm done. So when I went in there, the customer service was absolutely impeccable. And it wasn't just because I was going in there, and they saw me and we had a meeting and none of that. And, like sometimes you go in there and you feel like they doing extra because they know you or, you're doing something with them or whatever. But it wasn't like that. They had they kept that same energy with everybody that came in the door. And I was in there for a while. And they kept that same energy with every person that came in the door. I'm talking about customer service was impeccable. And that was one, and I commended them on that. And then I came back again. They didn't even know I was coming. Same vibe every time I went in there. Just consistent.
Let you let them introduce themselves. I don't think we got.
Well, introduce yourself, pretty lady.
Well, my name is Brianna McClinton. I'm one of the
Okay, Brianna.
I'm 19.
Come on, that's a young entrepreneur. I like that, man. Get pop smiling over here.
Okay, sir.
I'm Herman Smith. I'm also a co-owner.
Come on, Batman, stop playing. That's the first time I heard your real name, man. I'm like, who are you talking about? I respect that though, man. Me and the brothers do music back in the day, man, and to see a man being a business owner now and maximizing, man, it's a beautiful thing. I appreciate it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm Ron Johnson. Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm Ron Johnson. My baby done introduced herself there.
That's how you know folks know this. I mean, for the business, I'm in and out.
Right.
So man, yeah, give us some background information real quick about the store. What can we expect? Anything you want to drop on?
I mean, basically, we here to provide action to the conversation. Like we always talking about what black people do. So as opposed to talking, we decided stuff out on faith and start doing.
Come on.
So, just like to attest what the brother was saying earlier, as for me, you know what I'm saying, I take my accountability for, instruction, I call it. So now I'm trying to, provide some sort of life, you know what I'm saying, to see that, you can change and grow and transition.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then as far as, like you said, my little cousin, she's 19, like, to step out and really want to, you know what I'm saying, take on business, you know what I'm saying, really want to do something, start the things on inspiring. Man, this is what we're here for, this is what we're trying to do, inspire others.
What made y'all, because the black beauty, the beauty industry is all black. Black is beauty. We black people are into the beauty industry, right? What took us so long to have a beauty and barbershop? What was the vision? Why did y'all say, like, you know what, let's make sure that we be a part of this industry that has always been controlled by other folks?
To be honest, when I got out of jail, my cousin called me, being around with some air pockets from around. Yeah, my cousin trying to make his own air pocket. And he built a pocket. So we had just been chopping it up over the years and things, and he always was speaking on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what's that. You know what it is.
Yeah, I did.
Right. So, as we, got over there, like I say, baby girl graduated high school, she didn't want to just run off. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to do something else.
Brianna, what made you want to get into it? What made you decide to do that? Because you are also a braider, correct?
Yeah.
You got a chair in there. I was looking for it. I don't have no hair no more, so you made me cut it because she's on vacation.
Well, it was actually my dad who put me in it.
Jazz it up. You know what? As a little girl, I was dreaming about doing hair. I wanted my own shop.
Is that how you started braiding, or you did that right?
No, I did that before this. Okay. I mean, I did that before that or whatever.
Okay.
He had the big splash done like a few minutes, so I just fell in
line.
Yeah,
well, good job.
And Joe Jackson, forcing you just went your eye twice.
Right. Yeah. Like with the iron.
Ron, you ain't going enough to be in that shop all night. I know.
Nah, man, but I always wanted my kids to try something in school. Because these hands and that mind, you can make way more money for yourself than working for somebody else. So you're still young enough. If it don't work, there's college and all that stuff. You can always do that.
Right.
You get a trade, because I got a trade. So
Hey,
yeah, it's like it. If you have a specialized education in something, you can always get money off that. But by me being a barber, I always love cutting hair. But you know, you get older and like, I can't pass my clients to my kids.
Unless they got, if they could,
Yeah, but mine, we gonna get old together. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what can we do as a family for our family?
Right.
And at least be an example for everybody else.
Well, I gotta commend y'all. I love the family aspect. I love y'all working together as one. That's what we talk about. That's family. Right? Y'all making money together. Y'all making decisions together. Y'all moving as one. It don't matter who in the position or not. You know, everybody plays a part. So you being a young one, you want to be able to go ahead and make sure you got the brothers on point. Right? They're gonna lead the charge. But you want to also always make sure you understand how y'all growing, how to do it. Developing the next level. Right? So man, listen, what we got next? What we got coming up? What y'all drop the numbers?
This weekend we're giving away hair.
oh man.
Giving braid hair
Don't
away.
your girls do that?
Yeah, I'm very
From 5 to young ladies from 5 to 16.
Yeah, we're giving y'all.
What is that?
From young ladies from 5 to 16. The idea is to provide, something for the young ladies so they can start out school, with a boost of self-esteem and things of that nature. They want to feel beautiful also. And a lot of people, parents ain't, in position. So we in the community, man. We standing on what we talking about. So we in the community.
Come on, so.
Oh no. I already got my clients for the week. Okay.
Look at her. She's spoken like a true entrepreneur. I'm booked up. And listen, y'all make sure y'all come out this Saturday, August 28th. We'll be over there.
2 to 6.
2 o'clock.
Oh yeah. Hey, I was making sure he dropped the time on it.
Yeah, y'all gonna be there, right? We're gonna be there in live effect, man. I'm excited.
Turn on live.
We gonna turn that block all the way up.
Y'all bringing the 6 photo?
Oh, yeah, that's going to happen.
That's the photo session going. Why y'all ain't come to the block party on last minute second?
I mean, honest with you, I didn't know.
It was slapped
They
out.
was working.
I'm saying I didn't know about it. And we was at the shop, but I actually didn't know. I didn't hear about it.
Okay, next time
That was the real
our
reason why the show was telling me.
see, we gotta get our communication strong. We're gonna make sure we're gonna be out there this Saturday. Y'all make sure y'all tune in 2 to 6 at Caught My Eye Barber and Beauty Shop located on
6502 North Saginaw.
6502 Saginaw. And listen, man.
Hold on. And with this hair, right across from Hudson, with this hair, we're giving away shampoo and conditioner, a couple of black-owned companies for Flint giving me hair growth oils, Red Rose Natural,
Yeah.
Desire Hair Company. We even got brushes for little boys. We got a black-owned brush company. The best brushes we got. She bought one. Tell me,
I did. And I bought the grease. What?
He gave me 40 brushes today to give away.
He did?
Yeah.
Listen, because I told you my grandson here broke. And they work.
She said work.
I don't know where he got that from. Sure, he did. That's the listen. For telling you.
We
Yes, you know what I'm saying? What? Slap. What is slap back? I'm telling you.
He's the
Right,
best
fresh
person.
work.
Best person on the market, right?
Oh, my daughter, grew up there.
First 100 young ladies show up, we give you your hair, shampoo, conditioners.
First 100.
Why we there early? First
First 100 young ladies between 5 and 16.
5 or 6. Somebody asked.
They ain't keep on doing the 80s out there.
30-year-olds.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I feel it. Okay, girls, first 100 girls. First 100 girls.
Yeah.
Get a free pack of hair.
Right.
3 packs.
3 packs?
And they green hair too.
The good stuff
They
is.
talking about that $15 pack. I seen that $15 pack.
So it's brain hairs. It go for about $6 a pack. Come get some.
We on one. So y'all tune in when y'all come out this Saturday, 2 p.m. Call my eyes 6502 Saginaw. We're gonna be there live. Actually, Brother Darius gonna be performing out there in the streets, man. I'm gonna be DJing again. You know what I'm saying? I'm stepping my game up. I'm ready to go on tour again.
Okay.
You bang.
That's about to blow the dust off the
Listen, bro, I did that already.
Okay.
I did. Man, listen, it felt good.
Yeah.
It felt real good.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna hold it. On the stage. It did, man. So we gonna be out there Saturday, man. Y'all come tune in, check us out. Y'all can contact information for the break. For the what?
You go on our Facebook page, Coleman Bar Review Supply. Like that, we got the flyer on there.
Same handle on Instagram.
Yeah, same handle on Instagram.
Just pull up 6502.
We there.
We there.
All right.
11 to 8 every day, Sundays.
And if you missed the free hair giveaway, we got hair you purchase.
Yeah, yes. Always
Always
the service. Yeah, we gonna be buying stuff today. We just ain't gonna be picking up free items.
Still there.
We gonna be buying. I'm gonna be buying stuff. All I need some. I need some stuff too, man. I might get that brush from we gonna buy. We gonna support. All right.
Okay, well, we appreciate you all coming on. Thank you so much. Yes, pull up Saturday. All right. Take care.
Yeah, I'm gonna chop it up with you. Let's get some. Yeah, we gotta get some chopped up.
I'm gonna get it tomorrow.
I'll be there Saturday. I got them so everyone I got one over. I got one over.
With that being said, let's give another round of applause for Call My Eye.
I just want to if you have.
Yeah, I
Start bringing some more.
Yeah, I'm
I know that the studio going nuts right now. The audience folks is excited back there. They wanna go ahead and get to them. So y'all definitely hang out. We got some stuff going through after this. Okay. With that being said, listen. So at this time now, we want to make sure we bring up our special guest, one of our special guests for the night, who has been on the front line. And when we talk about water warrior, when we talk about water crisis, when we talk about settlement, when you talk about activism, when you talk about being on the front line, you talk about Harriet Tubman, you're going to be talking about one person. Let's go ahead and make some noise for Mr. Fli-City. Every time I see AT, she looking like she mean business. She got a note for that thing. Listen, let's get to it. We're about to go ahead and have a insightful conversation. Understand what's going on. What's going on, AT?
It's all about Flint.
Come on now.
Turning it up like y'all say.
Right there. Y'all sign up.
She been hanging around too long.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She got the lingo. So what
Okay, I'm not gonna be long. I'm just gonna talk about a current event that we're embarking on. Several community groups. Yesterday we handed in over 1,000 signatures to get a water affordability plan for the city of Flint.
y'all understand?
We pay too much money for water here in the city of Flint. water that we cannot use. So it's time, we've been through the, state of Michigan, the federal government sent money to the state of Michigan sent money to the city of Flint. We ain't seen it in our community, right? We have not got no relief. We not got no restorative justice for what happened to us in 2014. So millions of dollars has been spent. Even the YWCA in Lansing got $57,000. What's that got to do with Flint water crisis? Right. But millions of dollars was being given out. I got a list here of some of the places. Tennessee Intermediate School District. The people downtown. Home Depot. Yes, Home Depot.
Home
Depot got 6 million. iSource Worldwide Sky Point Ventures. I think that's that C3 program. I ain't seen none of my C3 people in it. Right? You got, what is GSID, 16 million.
Tennessee Intermediate School.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Uptown Reinvestment Corporation. Yeah, you brothers. Yeah, y'all got a good clean 20 million out the deal. I'd like to know where that dollar went. Right, so we're gonna call for some reports here sooner or later because those are public dollars, those are donated dollars, charitable dollars. So we need to pull the rank on that to see where the dollars were spent. What contracts were given out, who got the undercut, who took some on the back end. All right, so Auntie, I'm glad that you be on the forefront. I really got to say, I'm glad to see people understand and know that this fight's been going on since 2014. Probably before then, right? But the fact that people have been fighting for 7 years about water in Flint, and to this day have not been made whole.
That's right.
That should frustrate every one of us that's been living and breathing all through that water, trying to feed our children, bathing, right? Get water bottles. Remember, we going through all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then people around the country think that we good now. Some of them always ask the question. I was in Africa and they asked me, man, what's up with y'all water? I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm like, word out in Africa. The word out in Africa is messed up. But we got to make sure that we carry that knowledge and tell them, like, no, we ain't made over. And they still playing with us. You got people that's been out there fighting this whole fight, man.
The lawyers came in
and
made rich off.
support.
Lawyers that never drunk the water, made in the water, cooked in the water.
The settlement
They got broke off.
Yes.
Ms. Claire, how did these organizations get this money? Who gave them this money?
Okay, I'm glad you asked me that question. A lot of this money was distributed to the state of Michigan. The federal government gave money to the state of Michigan on behalf of the water crisis. And then the state of Michigan divvied it out to who they wanted. So that's how come you got Genesee Intermediate School District and downtown development people and all
Capitol Theater.
the Capitol Theater and all the downtown looking up and coming. And it back to the bricks. The lack of respect that they have for our young people. And this goes into your upcoming guests and some of y'all been talking. The emergency manager passed a ordinance or a declaration that said if you were 17 and under, you could not be downtown without an adult. That's
back to the bricks.
For back to the bricks.
That just passed.
So it's no, that was been some years ago. The emergency manager passed that, but it's just an example of the disrespect they have towards our community, right? And there's so many layers to what we got to do to lift up our young people. I mean, it just makes me very sad because I've been to 2 or 3 funerals in the last couple of months of people that should not be dead. And I watched my grandchildren going to their friends' funeral. This is just unacceptable, and we're going to have to stop it. But one of the things we have to do, we have to value our people in our community and value our children. And things like having a thing that if you're 17, you can't come downtown without an adult, and you know who they're talking about. No. Yeah. So the other thing I want to fast forward, and you mentioned about the attorneys. So all the money for the Flint water crisis did was make other rich people richer.
Yeah.
That's what it did.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the Flint water settlement, the lawsuit, it's gonna be a few people that's gonna do all right.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we've been overlooked and skipped, and a lot of people ain't gonna get a nickel because they have paperwork and this, that, and other. So now let's fast forward. That water settlement has not been finalized, but the judge is probably gonna sign off on it shortly. And like you say, we making rich people rich because all the millionaire attorneys is being peeled off a third of the 600 million.
Break that down in the sense of what they're saying is the attorneys get richer because they in Michigan get 33 and a third. So attorneys get 33 and a third of the settlement, so off of the 642 million.
Yes.
They'll be
They was
receiving
in a
about
rush to
$200
make sure
million.
we signed. They was in a
That's-
rush.
that's
It wasn't
what
a
we
concern of us at all. It was an opportunity. They saw opportunity to sign was. I know, Brother Jalil, Michigan actions were very illegal. They're criminals. That's criminal. That was a criminal act to get money funded for the water crisis in Flint and the city of Flint, of people that was affected by it to not see none of it. They're criminals. They're criminals. They lock people up for stuff like that. They're criminals.
We didn't do the right things either, by demanding that it's just $600 million as a whole. We should have been demanding that individually. Everybody should have been demanding 600 for you, 600 for you, 600 for you, and 600 for everybody.
To that point, you're right. We weren't even at the table when they were discussing the settlement amount. He came up with this outrageous formula that ain't making no sense for the adults, right? For who have been kind of taking front of this, right? Of course, the children gonna make out as they should, right? But those parents,
not all of the
not
children
all of them, but
are even going to be made whole because, for one thing, our group back early on, one of the demands we had was that you provide health services for all those who were impacted by the water. That's children and everything. That means counseling. Psychological, physical.
Right.
You have physical, you got rashes and you got your hair fell out. We wanted health care for all impacted residents.
Right.
Many of whom has moved out the city of Flint, but they were still impacted and they need health care.
Right.
There is a city in Montana who did get that. They got health care for all their residents.
For life.
Because for life, regardless of their age. Medicare for all. They were poisoned by a vermiculite chemical in a plant in that small town in Montana.
Right.
And they were able to get health care for the children, the families, the workers, and everybody got health care. And we've been screaming and hollering.
Montana.
Yes.
White folks together. White folks together.
Yes. That's a factor, but it's not the only thing.
No, it ain't.
But it was a factor, but it took them 10 years to get that. So what we're seeing is if you can give it to them, you can give it to us. That's just pretty.
Yeah. It is folks. So you got to do it.
So we've had these millions of dollars being lavished to special interests due to the water crisis. This is water crisis money.
Right.
Then we got the $600 billion, which is a slap in the face to us from the state of Michigan.
Who came up with that program? Who came up with the 642?
That was negotiated between the attorneys and the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan and the attorneys sat down and came up with that figure.
So did the residents put a value on that number? From the attorney to the attorney.
If you're the attorney and I'm signed up to get compensated, then you don't have to go along with the settlement, but you expect your attorney to represent you,
of course,
in a negotiation, right? So us not knowing, we trusting these people gonna represent us, and they haven't represented us,
right.
Even though there's some more lawsuits pending. But this is where we at now. But something happened on the way to the towards a water fountain. And this is what happened. An election happened.
What election?
A presidential election. And I'm not saying that the person that got elected is the best thing since sliced bread. But what I'm saying is the momentum of high voter turnout across this country gave us some political capital. Do y'all know what I mean by political capital? In other words, somebody got paid for being successful, so they want to give some back to shore up their candidacy. So what happened? Money was sent to cities and townships all over this country. We've been talking about it. 47 million, which is only half of it. It's 99 million, but they give you half now and half in the year after next.
Right.
But here's the thing. The other money that we got for the water went to the state of Michigan. Then the state of Michigan divvied it out the way they want. This money comes directly from Washington into the coffers of the city of Flint. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, that's our money.
Yeah.
And why aren't we down there? It's not the mayor's money.
I asked him about it. He
All right,
I saw
it's
that
not
money. I
the-
say,
it's
Neely,
not the mayor's
Neely, where that money at? Face to face. I pointed face to face and said, where that money
But
at?
it's not his money.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He acts
It's
like
not city
He acts
council's
like
money.
right.
It's our money. And once we
and we want it.
lock into our mind that that's our money, if you go to work and if you work for General Motors and then after you did 40 hours they gave you a check, that's your money. You decide how that money gets spent. And we have to have that same mindset about this $47 million.
Right.
It's not about us saying, well, what you gonna do with that? No, that's the wrong question. The question is, we're gonna tell you what you're gonna do with our money. See, once we accept the notion that that's our money and not somebody downtown making the decisions on our behalf, I think we can get something valuable in this period to get restorative justice for our community.
I'm glad you said to that point when she was talking about it's our money. And like we gotta be the ones to say this is what we want to do with our money. The same thing politically. Like you elect these people like the mayor, Neely, you elect the people at the city council, state rep, Neely, right? They work for you. Not only remember that you are an employer because you're paying their salaries. So ultimately you tell them, hey listen, this is what we need to do in office. We have to get better in our role of being employers, as being customers, and saying like, this is the type of service we expect. And if you can't do the job, then get somebody to do it.
With that being said, we also need to do better and put in these positions. So as employers, we have to do our due diligence to put the right people in place because the local is the power. Right? Everybody want to go and do all this other stuff, but the local is the power, and that's where we need the biggest turnout, and that's where we have the lowest turnout. The local is the power. I'm gonna keep saying it. The local is the power. I gotta do your research. The local is the power. That's where you need to be putting up the numbers. That's where the numbers. Listen, you want to go where the money resides? Put up the numbers. That's where it's gonna be at. You gotta go to the local. The local is it, and if you don't go out to the local, we gonna keep being in this same shit ass predicament that we steady being in because you don't want to get your ass up and go and vote in the local. The local is where it's
I
at.
think that is a true thing. Like we expect people to do the job for us. We expect people to we expect them to do for us, and we ain't charging them.
Right.
Like that is a piss poor mindset of looking at
Man.
any community, any robust community is led by the city residents. Like,
Right.
you see them at these meetings. They not only at the meetings, but at city council. They understand what they're doing at city council, but at the same time they voting. You said they put the right people in leadership. They making sure that they looking at the track record, what they voting on.
Right.
So while we put Neely in this position, we should already look at when he was on council the type of moves that he was making. And that would have gave you some insight on saying like, oh, this brother ain't the one.
Right.
I think, you know what I'm saying?
Or he is the one if you feel like he is.
No, he ain't the one.
Right.
But this is the thing, though. This is what we said, though. You got to do your due diligence and do your homework.
Absolutely.
Us as voters, as community members, as people in this city, right? we got to do more conversating with each other and more strategic planning. So what's the next steps? What we got going?
Well, in the process, we have been out here getting signatures to get two things accomplished. One is we want a water affordability plan for our city. Even before the water crisis, Flint had the highest water rates in the nation.
Even before the water
Even
crisis?
before the water crisis, because they were using the water money to pay for other stuff that they shouldn't have been paying for. Well, they can't no longer do that, but they never brought the water rates back into some kind of normalcy. Right. So we're trying to get a water affordability. Water rates should be based on your ability to pay, not how much you use. Even the United Nations say nobody should pay over 5% of their income for water, because water is life. You can't live without water. Water should not be something that's put on the open market for profit.
Taxes
For profit. So this is and also we're calling for the end of a water shutoffs permanent. Stop turning people water off. Right. Figure out another way to collect the water bill. Stop turning people water off. You can't live without water.
Right.
When they had, remember Sussex Apartments? Yeah. When the water was included in their bill for the rent that they were paying, and the landlord who lived in New York or Florida or something wasn't paying the water bill, they turned all them people's water off.
And they were paying
the bill to their rent. Yep. So we want to put a stop to that ability to have that situation. But we have heard so many from people in our community who's beginning to grasp, so wait a minute, that's our money. What do you want for your city with this money? We've got to call the council people. We got to call, this is what we want with our money. Now, one of the most loudest voices that we've heard about how that money should be used come from Rich Jones. Rich Jones says zero out the water bills with that money. That's hey. See what I'm saying? And so those are the type of things we need to say. Look, this senior in my neighborhood roof is falling in. Use that money to fix her roof. And listen. About 3 years ago, we were downtown at a event, a rally. And that was the first time we had seen a lot of young people, young men, like y'all's age, down there about that water. And they were talking, there's a lot of love and compassion in our community, and we need to bring it out more. The compassion and the humanitarian. We had people sign this thing, you know where it say address? They put homeless. They put homeless on this petition. But they had the compassion to say, we want our community to be better. And so these young men were down there, they were talking about people like me. They say, my grandmother had been drinking that water, and she can't even get nobody to bring her a case of water. All of these grievances and things need to be translated into what we want done with our money. That's right.
They should be delivering water to neighborhoods.
We're not going to go down there. These board meetings, with all due respect, I'm not throwing shade on nobody. But those were not meetings, not for me to write a question. No, you asked me the question. What do I want done with my money? Thank you. It ain't but one question. Right. And get as many answers from all sections. And our young people don't think they ain't got no mind. Ask them, what do you want done with our money? Do you want a new school? Do you want a soccer team? Do you need some uniforms for the band? What do you want? Everybody needs to weigh in on what we gonna do with our money. So I'm gonna just leave it at that, and I appreciate the opportunity.
We thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you so
I
much.
appreciate you.
Oh, my.
I'm sure that's been on
Oh,
the
man. That's my mama right there,
We appreciate the activity that you have continued to do.
Wow.
How can we get those? You gonna leave a petition out here?
I'm gonna walk your business.
Mama Claire.
Okay, all right.
Mama Claire.
I appreciate
You gonna leave a petition here? We gonna sign? You gonna leave a petition, Mama Claire?
I have some out in the car.
Yeah, leave one in the building.
I'll leave some.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all know.
Yeah, I just had y'all around too.
Okay, life.
Water is life. Water is life. It should be free. Water is life. It should be free.
Let's give her one more round of applause. Make sure everybody sign that petition because them water bills will become due very soon. I know some folks owe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I've seen somebody with 5,000 water bill.
Yeah.
Right? It's gonna become due soon. So we want to make sure we put the pieces in order first, so you don't cut help with the hefty bill, water bill. Because they'll do that type of stuff. So man, with that being said, we're gonna transition to our next special guest, who is doing some phenomenal things, not only just here working with us in the city of Flint, throughout the state of Michigan, but through national, right? We got our brother Captain Dennis, man, who's training CPR, making sure brothers is working it out together. Whatever we need to do to stop killing each other and create more peace. Look at the conflict resolution side. Be so quick to go off on each other, bust each other through. When in all actuality, man, we should be like more quick to say, hey, listen, man, let me talk to you, right? I got a problem with you, right? This is my issue. And I'm saying it in the most respectful way.
Right.
Because I don't mean no disrespect. Those are the things and small practices that we have to start implementing in our societies. Start looking at this like longevity and how we create more life. Right? So, man, with that being said, man, what's up, brother Dennis? Man, give a round of applause, man. Get into it, man. How you feel?
Brother, first and foremost, always giving honor and praise to God at the end of my life. That He woke me up this morning. That I got one more chance to get it right.
Come on now. Come on now.
And I'm not going to waste my time but to do that.
Right.
I'm very honored. Thank you so much. Mom just had me so fired up.
Yeah.
She touched me and moved me. Because that's what it's all about. A woman like that, she's at the twilight of her age. And she's out there on the front line fighting for us. To see that we get the necessary justice of an injustice that was done to this community that went all around the world.
Yes.
I'm from up the street, Columbus, Ohio. And Flint, Michigan was on all national about the water crisis. I remember coming here with Russell Simmons, and it was something fashionable to come here to make you a visit, whether you sincere or whether it was but it was that. But let me say this because I have been honored to be in your city for about 2 weeks. I'm saying this from a very sincere heart. I've been with the Minister Farrakhan for 45 years. I've traveled all around the world with him. Been in Africa 3 times and met some of the leaders that America assassinated. I have been blessed to be around this country. I was one of the principal architects of the Million Man March. I was one of the captains over the East Coast. As a matter of fact, when the minister said he wanted to take 1 million men to D.C., it was in New York, but I was over. We brought him at the 369th Army. And we had enough black men packed in that army to make a Tarzan. We turned at least 15,000 men away because we couldn't get them all in there. The minister was so moved by the show of all those black men that he said, I want to take 1 million men to D.C. He said before he knew it, the words had left his mouth, and he couldn't call it back in. Right after he said that, we went on a national tour around the country and had all man's only meetings in every major city, getting the black man ready to go to D.C. in October. So when 2 million men showed up, it wasn't on no abracadabra. We put work in. We put work in. One of the largest gatherings of black men in history. And we didn't just do it one time. We came back and did a million family march, 1.5 million. We didn't do it 2 times. We came back and did a million more movement, 1.5 million, 3 times. And then we did a 4th beat. We did Justice or Else, was about 5 years ago, and we packed it. Now, all these years of me traveling with the minister, and we did Stop the Killing 1, Stop the Killing 2, Stop the Killing 3. When East Coast, West Coast had a beef, I was with the minister when Buffy and all them came to D.C., came to Chicago. Fat Joe was there. We tell the story all the time. Common and Q had a beef. The minister settled it.
Who was it?
Common and Q had a beef.
Common and Q?
Yeah, they had a beef. The minister settled it. There was a couple more beefs and settled. I was there. Now, I've been with this man for 45 years, man. And it's as if the minister ain't been in our presence. When you look at the condition of black people, I'm 67 years old. I got skin in the game. I joined the nation when I was 18 years old, 1972. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And I'm saying this because as I drove around Flint, Michigan, and I heard y'all say, well, you know, Flint ain't like every other city. All cities say that same old, but you never go to Flint. See, they ain't like everybody. Well, how can you say that when you ain't been to Ghana? How can you say that when you ain't been to Philly? How can you say that you ain't never been in? What can you compare it to? Do not the Asians run the stores in your city? Do not the Arabs run the stores in your city? Do you have a black supermarket in your city? Do you have more funeral homes, more churches in your city than you have in? And what makes Flint, Michigan any different? See, what the problem is, you have an opportunity, Flint. And I'm saying this out of sincerity. You got the greatest opportunity I've seen in any city in America. You know why? Because y'all ready for change. Right. Everybody I'm talking to, even you putting the politicians in check status, they got nothing. The police is like this. They can't control the black community. They can't stop crime and violence. You notice that. You know when the police showed up, the person's already dead. You ain't never seen the police catch nobody in the act of a crime. When last time you see the police caught somebody in the act of a crime? Police is a responsive agency. So what does that mean? When you got chaos, and we got chaos in every major city, not just Flint. Y'all don't have copyrights on sign Flint on chaos. Y'all don't have copyrights on crime and violence. I want to let y'all know.
You don't want
I know, I just want to let you know that.
Don't want copyrights.
Now, let me say, now check this out, man. Law enforcement, because of the Black Lives Matter movement years ago, have really put the light on abusive law enforcement. They very upset even if you even use the word defund the police. Even though we have the right to defund them. Because I'm not going to pay for a service I'm not getting. Absolutely. When you go to a restaurant and you sit at the table, this man comes, and you tell him you want a cup of coffee, you want it hot, you want this, and he don't bring you coffee, then he bring it this way, and you don't, when you pay for that service. Let me tell you something. When you don't see a reduction in crime and violence, and we pay for service to reduce crime and violence, then we have a right to say, yo, man, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna start paying on that check. Yo, ain't nothing personal. But if I pay for plumbing and you supposed to fix the plumbing, you don't fix the plumbing, I left you a check, and I come back in the plumbing, I'm going to stop paying on that check, partner.
That's right.
No, I'm gonna stop paying. Well, see, we ain't got the power to stop payment. But what we do have the power to do is to tell them where we want our money to go. See, we as men, and I like what you said, sis, you accepted the responsibility as the OG to say, no, we're going to accept, when she was talking about you, we failed. And as a grown man, I ain't got no problem to say, yes, we failed. We failed you black women. We failed our children. We failed. I'm going to say that.
We appreciate y'all saying it.
I'm going to say that. I'm going to keep it straight up.
We do.
But now we got a situation in this city and all around the country. Forget about the police. Young people don't trust the police. Don't respect the police. They ain't going to change this. They're not going to change our condition. And I'm going to tell you why, brothers. Because crime and violence is a social problem. And police are not social workers. It ain't the police job to give jobs. It's not the police job to give quality education. It's not the police job to make sure your children are home at 11 o'clock. It's not the police job to make sure we do right by our women and don't give them babies and leave them. It's not the police job. We men. That's our job. And we have relinquished our responsibility as men when we tell our women to go get on Section 8. We have relinquished our responsibility as men. Go get some food stamps, baby. We have relinquished our responsibility as men. Go and get them stamps.
Yeah.
We have allowed someone else to be the man while we the boy, and we look at our community and say, why we in this condition? It's not what somebody call you, it's what you answer to.
Say that.
It's not what somebody do to you, it's what you take. What are you taking, Flint? You take this insult? Here's the sister tell us how they take your money. And she's standing by herself, and we ain't saying, the sister tell me next time we need to be up there, I bet you this. If we got to bum rush this show, this is going to stop.
That's right.
Hey.
That's right.
It's going to be very dangerous to say you want to be a black leader tomorrow. Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
See, we as men, we got to control our own damn community.
Yeah.
All right? Them little youngins out there, they ain't no Talibans. They ain't no ISIS.
Right.
No. This Pookie, Ray, nothing. We know who they are. I went to school with them. They ain't no foreigners. The hell you gonna be scared of your own damn children?
That's what I'm saying.
We grown men up in here.
That's right.
And we never went out there and talked to those young brothers.
Right.
They've been waiting on us. Them young people don't care what you know. They just want to know that you care. Show me some love, brother. And they loyal. That's what I like about them young folks.
Lord.
Oh, they loyal. See, you loyal to them, they loyal to you. And the reason why all this gunplay is because I came up with you now. We used to spend bread. I put some work in now. Nigga, you ain't spending money no more. Then you become the target.
Man.
See, they loyal. I love that about young people. When you hear the word, keep it 100, they started that. But you can't come out there with that jive. Don't come on the corner talking God to me. Nigga, be God to me.
Come on, man.
Don't talk it.
Yeah.
Be it.
Yeah.
Right.
Nigga, I'm homeless out here. I'm trying to eat out here. I'm not doing bad out here. I don't hear nothing about no God. Show me God, partner.
Yeah.
Because if you say you God and not dog, then feed me.
Yeah.
Show me some love. Other than that, get out my face. I don't want to hear all that pull up my pants. Get out that judgment game.
Mm-hmm.
See, they ready for us.
Yeah.
But the question is, are we ready for them? Because we got to make the community safe. See, to do nothing is not an option.
That's right.
See, that young lady right there, who look at family. But we hearing young people like that getting killed for nothing.
Yeah.
Just a drive-by and just an accident bullet that killed them. We have have to protect her and give her a future so she can grow up and be all that she want to be.
That's right.
But we have the most violent environment in our community. Our community is violent. And when you can see more liquor stores in Flint, I'm counting. Look at these liquor stores. Church. Liquor store. Taco Bell, McDonald's, Popeye Chicken, liquor store. Ain't that about, did I just describe your community?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, barbershop. Forgot about barbershop, do something. Barbershop, do something.
Looking good, getting drunk, going to the club, right?
Strip clubs everywhere.
Same vibe.
And what hope do our young people, if we got them out that world, what kind of job can we offer them? Huh? $15 an hour job, nigga, I'm out here slinging, I'm making that much in a second. So what do we got to do, brothers? When we talk about the crime and violence, just what I'm doing, I'm going all around the country. See, if we talk politics, we'll fall out of politics because politics is controversial, right? If we talk religion, we're going to fall out about religion. Religion is controversial. I'm a Muslim Christian. I just don't see the same things the way it is. Even if we talk sports, we're going to fall out. Oh, no, nigga, I ain't with trauma. So what we do, when I travel and do these barbershop talks, I don't do that. I don't talk politics. I don't talk sports. I don't talk even your social difference, whether you're old school, you've been in the penitentiary 20 years, 1 year. We want to leave all that out the equation. Because you know one thing, dear brothers, that's not controversial is being a man. Either you are or you ain't. Let's stay there. If we stay there, we got something in common, right? Because we can ask the question all day long, what is the definition of a man? And we get a different definition from every brother in this room. But if we ask her, we may get a different definition. I can sit there and say, man, Juan, you the man all day long, but it ain't like when she said you the man. Oh yeah, look here. See, I put some cologne on today, right? I didn't put it on to attract him. He said, you smell good. I said, oh shit, I gotta give you some cat piss or something. I'm on the wrong species here, baby.
You ain't gotta worry about it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Here's my point. Here's my point. My point is, my point is, we do everything, dear brothers, to attract her.
That's right.
She's the prize.
Come on now.
We get looking good. We look underneath. We get beat up. Why? Because we trying to appeal to her.
That's right.
Am I right, brothers?
That's right.
She's the prize.
Yes, sir.
If you was in the military and you was in a war, they call her the booty. I see you on the thing, booty. But not the booty. But booty means spoils of war. That's what it means, the spoils of war.
Right.
And if you didn't have no money to give the soldiers, you told them you get the women, that was just enough for me, partner. You mean if we conquer the enemy, I get all the women? When do we start fighting? Ma? Now, we have an opportunity. So we come in, my man, Brother Jaleel, brought me in here. I said, man, y'all got it going on in Flint. The houses is cheap as chicken. Y'all can look at y'all's condition. It's bad now.
Yeah.
But they say, you know, opportunity comes under the most difficult times.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty presents the greatest opportunity. Y'all got an opportunity. Now, it may take somebody from the outside to see. Y'all may not see it. I'm like, oh, snap, God, what pop? Damn, man, this is what?
Sometimes you might be caught up in the mix.
You know, because, you know, listen, man, sometimes you become blinded by the light.
Yeah.
You in the mix, you looking at it from your perspective. I come in, I see opportunity. I see you got a chance. We do barbershop talk. We just did one in Saginaw today. To me, the barbershop is the new church. To me, the barbershop is the place where we settle all differences in the family. The barbershop, to me, is what we call the United Nations. This is where we can come to the barbershop and whatever you want to put on the table, put it on the table, just be ready to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
But the barbershop dialogues, brothers, you know, in the shop, this is where the barbershop dialogues has been. Hey, yo, man, you think Jay-Z gonna got more money than P. Diddy? Man, he got a dog in that fight. Okay. You think LeBron gonna hit that 60 this? See, we're talking about things which is irrelevant as it relates to our conditions. So what we do, we change the narrative. So here's what we do in the barbershop. We did this today. Brothers, I want to ask this question. There was 3 questions I want to ask. That's what we did today. Question number 1. What do you think is the very reason why there's an increase of gun violence and young people killing young people? Tell me what you think why. Second, why there's an increase of white police officers shooting down unarmed black men? And the third, do the black dollar matter? What can we do, man? You keep the black dollar in the black community. Then I open up the floor, shoot. Everybody, hey, brother, I'd like to ask number 1. Go ahead, my man, what you think? Yo, man, young dudes ain't got no daddy in their life. Bingo! That's 1. There's many more. Well, I kind of disagree with another brother. I mean, I like what he said. I'm going to keep it 100 with you, Cat. The reason why I think they out there killing us, these boys ain't got nothing to do, man. They got no jobs, man. They got no quality education, man. These young boys ain't got nothing. I like that, brother. What do you think? No, I agree with it, but I'm a preacher. I think they need God in their life. See, you're going to get everybody's perspective. And nobody wrong now. Because that's a patient who got multiple injuries. That's us. You come up on us, man, we got multiple injuries. Now the question is, which injury we're going to work on first?
Yeah.
And that's where we got to get to the part where, hey man, if I don't stop the bleeding, if we don't stop the hemorrhaging, he'll never get his leg fixed. You know what? He'll never get his back fixed.
Right.
I got to stop the bleeding first.
Right.
That's where we got to get with that part. We got to stop that killing. How do we do it, brothers? We got this thing, turn around, let me show the shirt. It says right here, squash the beef before the grief. Then do you know how much 50% of the killings are retaliation? That's a high number, man. We're not going to tell the police, I got a beef with you and I know you killed my brother, because I want to get that street justice. See, if the police get you, I can't get at you. So I'm sick with the police. Well, who shot him? I don't know. But you standing? I don't know. You saying that because I'm going to go get it. So we got to be able to get these young boys together and sit them down, man. Because every one of us know we want to out in the fight. I don't care how tough you are. If you can get out in the fight and you walk out that fight with your dignity intact, I'm going to take it. These young men want to out because they don't like having their head on the swivel, man. They don't like running around. Everybody got a gun. I can't pull up and I don't know who wants it. So if I can settle it, if somebody can sit me down, and let me tell you, I done did about 15 beats. Brother, 9 times out of 10, when you hear them, it's so stupid. And you know what? There's always a third party that keep the beat going. But as soon as you get the brothers in the room, now they can talk tough. But man, they want to settle it. But they ain't gonna let everybody settle the beat. They got to be some genuine people they respect. The barbers, they respect the barber. Yo, man, I want my, because the barber know it. They're gonna respect their grandmother. You gotta bring your grandmother in the room. I don't care how tough that dude is. When grandma's standing there, he ain't gonna cuss. You gotta bring the coach in the room. You gotta bring people at the mediation table that they respect. And when you bring them at the table, they're gonna talk with respect. And then you allow the brothers to settle their differences. And look this, they happy to hug because now I ain't got to put no swivel. Now they got what they call the 46. This is where they trick you. They doing that in New York. Where they make you think we cool, you drop your guards, then I smoke you. But here's what we do when we settle these beefs. First, after we settle the beef, they got to bring their crew in because they ain't no system. The leader know the beef instead of a member of the crew don't know it's been settled. When they sit there and know that it's settled, then we make it known. Social media. So, because everybody know they're beefing because on social media they beef. But the key is, we're going to put up big billboard signs in Flint, Michigan. Big ass is going to say, squash the beef before the grief. Now maybe I'm riding. I see that big sign. Yo, man, I need to call that number because my little nephew, man, if he don't settle this beef with this dude across the street, there's gonna be somebody get killed. Yo, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? This is across the beef, both degrees hotline. Yo, man, listen, man, I got my nephew, man. He got a beef with a dude. I need to set up a mediation. Okay, brother, all right. What was your name? Well, you know, he known dude. I said, can you get him on the phone now? Hold on. Your nephew was up on. And the guy got one of the brothers on this mediation thing, man, you know you need to settle this thing. No, nigga, I'm gonna murk that nigga. No, I'm gonna murk him. Now, listen, dude, you know, you need to settle. I said, can I say something? Yeah, listen, my name's Captain. How you doing, bro? Yo, I'm all right. If the dude want to sit down with you, would you sit down with him? Yeah, man, but that nigga, I said, if he want to sit down with you, would you sit down with him? Yeah, cool. Let me get back with you. We gonna sit down and get what my man said. My man said he sit down, you and him. Now you bring them together. That's how you do it. No, we can't save everybody.
So what do we say to those who are reluctant? Like, because we can't save everybody.
We can't.
What do we say?
If they don't want to sit there, ain't nothing you can do. The first thing, I wouldn't give up on them. I try to get a family member to bring them to the table because the beef, we say stop the beef before the grief, but there's going to be some grief. And the grief is not limited to the targeted person. The grief can be limited to the innocent person. So we trying to tell the family member he won't talk to us. Maybe grandma, you need to talk to him. I'm telling you, they gunning for him. They're gunning for him, and I wouldn't be around him. Now we either settle this way, or we can go to the beauty funeral parlor and look over his body and say, see? Now, somebody can get to him. If they don't, we let it play out. Listen, we did our job, right? At least we made an attempt, right? And if it play out the way it play out, they can't say we didn't try. One thing I want to say, I'm going to close on this note. There is not a surgeon, a doctor, who have not lost somebody on that table. Every doctor lost a patient. But do he give up? Do he throw in the towel and say, I'm not going to be a doctor no more? Do he go home and lose sleep? Start drinking? No. You know why? He can wake up and scrub up for another one. Because he know he did everything within his power to save that person. And you know what he also think? I saved more lives than I lost.
Yeah.
That's how we got to think, damn it. We're not going to save everybody. But we got to say we saved more lives than we lost. And long as we can sit there and look at each other and say, you know what? We did all we could in our power to set that beat. We go to sleep.
But always understand too, when we lose somebody in the community, the whole community
suffers.
Like it's just not just that person's immediate family. It ain't just, you know, that side, man. It's the whole community. Everybody is hurt. Everybody feels bad. That's how we always have to.
I didn't even know the young brother.
We can't even look at it from the fact that just wait, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's not my people. That ain't got my situation. That ain't got nothing to do with me. No, in our community, we lose one, we lose one. That's like animals, right? When I seen an ant get killed out there, you see all of them crowd around, right? That's how we gotta be, whether it's our nephew, whether it's our homie, whether it's the ops. When we lose somebody, man, we gotta be like, man, that's one of ours. That's our people. That's our village, so we need to go ahead and so we need to heal.
I'm so tired of that word.
Here's the beautiful thing.
I'm tired of that.
I know you tired, bro.
I'm tired of that ops word. That word, that ops, my op. Like how somebody look like you.
Help me with the word ops. I'm no new one.
Like I like an opposition. That's the new, I guess.
Oh, okay.
That's new for the NDSUP. So ops. This is new thing. I'm so tired of hearing it. And now you hear it all through the music, so they push it. Now everybody's stuck. You know what I'm saying? So everybody looking for an op. You ain't got an op, they looking for an op. Like, come on, these your brothers and sisters.
But you know what? But let me say this to you, brother. I admire your spirit. I was watching you, man. You my kind of people, man. As we say in New York, you my men's in there. You know, on real, man. You know, we got a chance, for real, to change this. We really do. And if I didn't think we did, I'd have left a long time ago. God has gave me the gift of spirit. I train men. When you look at the brothers that's called the Fruit of Islam, I'm the trainer of those men. I've trained men for 49 years. I got soldiers all around this country. They know me as Captain D. So I deal with that. I know how to take a man like who come out the world and take it from that lifestyle and make it to the man when you see him with that suited and booted with that bow tie talking about man being final call. Because some of them brothers used to be some of the worst niggas in the street. That was us. Don't get it twisted because you see the bow tie. We put work in out there. If you knew something about that, you say, oh, snap, crap, on top. But the bottom line is, man, you can't tell us because that young man was me. I was that young man. So I'm not going to go out there and judge them. Malcolm said it like this. Faces and places change, but damn, the game remains the same. It's the same game. The only difference with our young people out there, brother, is there's no more loyalty, man. There's no values. They just out there in total madness, hoping somebody save them. I ain't never seen so many old cars in my life. That look like y'all lived in Cuba with all them old cars, and y'all done made them fancy as hell. I seen a car go down the highway, ain't going nowhere but louder than 6 motorcycles. It was a truck, I thought it was 6 motorcycles. But that's all right. If you can restore an old car, then you can restore a young brother. Don't you think a life is more than a car? If you would take time to restore and bring back an old car, you can't bring a young brother back to life. I have a problem with that because we put value on things that has no value to us when it comes to life. It says Black Lives Matter. It should say Black Life Matter. See, when you look at the word life, it talks about a lifestyle. When you look at the word life, that's existence. So we got to say Black existence matter. You take away our existence, you take away life itself.
And that's the problem. It has to matter to Black people.
It got to matter to us. And I thank y'all who keep that out there in the minds of our people to show that you have given me this great opportunity to say what I say. I hope I ain't offend nobody. I have a mad love that's brewing. I mean, I'm sincerely, because I'm looking at y'all. I said, man, you know what? I was supposed to be moving to Dallas, Texas. I said, I may move to Flint, Michigan if they have me. Will y'all have me, mama?
Absolutely. Come on.
Will y'all have me, mama? Then Flint, Michigan? Yeah, I come. We gonna see. See, because you know why? Flint, Michigan is ready, man. I've never seen y'all so ready. Y'all be looking at the phone. I said, these dudes are ready. All they need is some true leadership that ain't gonna sell them out on some money. These politicians do what they do because you ain't putting them in check status. They should fear selling the people out. Yeah. You know what Flavor Flav said before I sell out, I'll get the hell out? See, they don't fear nothing. They don't fear the consequences of sellout. But when one of them pay a price, they gonna get the map.
No, let me say, we got some real folks who stand on their thing. It's just not enough, right? It's too many sellouts, and you can't come up to against. So if so many people are selling out, it's kind of hard for those folks who stand strong on their principles to get somewhere. I just want to always put that out there because we do got some folks that won't sell out.
And I'm looking at them right at this table. I don't believe. I don't believe there's no sellouts in this damn room right here.
Hey, but you was right. The problem is there ain't been no consequences for some of us.
That's my point. If your child do something wrong, there's a consequences. They're gonna get their butt beat. They know that, and I ain't gonna do that no more. There's no consequences for our actions. You disrespect our elderly, and we don't put no work in. We don't walk up on you and say, "No, you foul." No, ain't nobody gonna say you here. You gotta pay a price for what you did, partner. For real. See? And let everybody see it on social media. Say, whoa. They think that here's a dude that sit there and rape the girl. They see him, he was knocked out, blood dripping. And the word was, that's what happened when you rape the sister. Street justice. People are ready for street justice. Because you know what? The police ain't gonna do it. And the good thing we're gonna say to them when we handle that business, I'm gonna do you like my mama said. She gonna hurt me just as much as gonna hurt you, boy. And see, let me tell you how we the Muslims. See, we'll beat your ass, take the hospital, give you a big pie. And then we say to you, brother, you know you was wrong. You was wrong. You said what I said about the spot. See, our people real good people. They just don't have nobody. But you can't go out there in your heart full of hate and you try to check them. They ain't taking it from somebody who hates them. They ain't gonna take nobody who out there. Yeah, nigga, you know, I mean, young niggas foul out here. They ain't taking that. They ain't taking you out there in the strip club and yeah, and that band's like it down here. See, think what you got. They ain't taking it from you. See,
You gotta do it.
see, this is what you gotta do. See,
Economics.
see, economics. We got on our own. See, they ain't taking it like that.
You are.
They ain't taking it like that. But if you talking correct and you writing exact, they down like brown on me, man. I love our people, man. I've been looking here, man. I just cry sometimes. As I heard my preacher say the other day, he said, cry, but don't quit. It's okay to cry, brothers. Yeah. But don't quit. When you look at our condition, it makes you want to cry, man. Really, man. It really makes you want to cry. But don't quit. We got to do this, man, or die trying. This is my last hurrah. I got more years and behind me I do in front of me, and I'm not going out like no buster, man. I'm not going out like no COVID-19. Take me out the game, COVID, because you know what? Bring a lunch. Because there ain't going to be no damn walk in the park getting candy. See? Catch me on my dean. I'm out there trying to save black folk. And if I die in the process, don't cry over me. That's the life I chose. Right. I told my wife, if I die in this work, don't you say a damn tear. I chose this life. Yeah. That's the way I want to die. I don't want to die coming out some nigga's bedroom. I done smoke, and got some fentanyl on my. I don't want to die that way. Yeah. I want to die, man. Knowing when you talk about Captain Dennis, damn it, that nigga put work in, man. See, that's where I want to go out of here, like a trooper. Not like no stupid. I want to go out like a soldier. Not like no soldier. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what time it is. That's what our women want. Our women want men who's not afraid. Because you're going to die anyway. Yeah. You're going to die anyway. I just choose how I'm going to die. I damn sure ain't going to die, man, getting high, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I will die. If I see this truck with my brother, I don't know you from a can of paint, but if I see my work bond and everything, if I see a police choking you out, I just got to take one for the team.
You just got to.
Got to take one for the team.
Got to. See, this was crazy, right? I had a conversation, well, not even a conversation, because if I'm riding and I see the police pulling on some of my brothers, I stop. I'm not a camera person. I don't jump off the cameras because if it go down, I don't need to be taking time to put my phone on. I'm already ready to go. Yeah. I'm already ready to go. I'm not letting it happen. So the state boys had some young brothers pulled over. They found guns in the car. I guess they were pressuring everything to do so again back then. At least the state boys, they know it's me sitting there watching, so they wave back. So I wave back, you know what I'm saying? They're like, good to see you here. I said, well, anytime you stop one of mine, I'm going to be there, you know what I'm saying? So they pull up on the side of me. They like, well, there's a lot of killing going down in Flint. I say, yeah, y'all the police. Why y'all ain't stopping them? Y'all ain't doing y'all job. I said, the thing is, we don't even need y'all no more. I said, that's the problem. I said, I don't need you. I don't need you. They like, well, we just doing our job. I said, I am too. I'm gonna make sure it ain't gonna be no cop killing no brothers in Flint. That ain't coming out. Now I'm out. They saying, looking at me like, there's no more games. There's no games. There's no games. I'm not going. You will never get a recording from me of a brother getting choked out by the police.
I got to record it, but don't worry. I got to record it. The man choking again. No, don't worry, but I got it on recording, brother. I got it recorded. Yeah. And let me say this, and I would like to entertain any questions because, you know, y'all can see I'm passionate about this. There's no question about it, man. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that our whole game and what we're trying to do in Flint, Michigan is to recruit all our people to put aside in certain differences, and then for 1 hour a week, just 1 hour, 60 minutes, we put on our orange shirt, this orange shirt. As a matter of fact, we now want to put your organization on the back of it. You're going to wear it like this, and just like your beauty salon, we want to put your stuff right on the back. And then one time out of the week, 60 minutes, we come together, all of us. We wearing our flag, and where we're going to be at, Cap? We're gonna go on this corner, 30 of us, and we're gonna kick it with the young boys. That's all we're gonna do. For 60 minutes. Do whatever you invite them to your business, invite them to your church, kick it with them, but do something. And we can say for 60 minutes, 1 hour, black people put their differences aside. It had nothing to do with the Christians and the Muslims and the up, the old. They for 1 hour, and after 61 minutes, you can go back fighting like niggas. I don't care.
No.
But I know. No, but I know we ain't. But my point is, at least we can give 60 minutes of our time. And so everybody has agreed here to do this, right? And we got the brothers, and we got about 40 people that we already signed up. They agreed to. We give them that shirt. We want to make sure before we send everybody out there, we got to give them a training. I don't want to send nobody. I'm a command. I'm a soldier. I would never send an FOI out there in the street if I ain't training first. I'm putting him in harm's way. So we give everybody free CPR first aid training. You need that. It's just good to have life skills training. In case we out there, something go down, we know what to do. Then we give everybody what we call the proper handling people. That means we ain't going out there to judge them, man. We're going out there to talk to our people in a respectful way. Then we're going to give them what you call, man, love thyself training. We got to teach black men how to love themselves. And we don't know how to love no more. Then we're going to give them what we call the 8 barriers of communication training. Then we're going to give them their nonviolent crisis intervention training. Then we're going to give you, of course, a little self-defense training. Every man in here, swear to God, he know how to fight, but we ain't turning down no lessons. And we in the arts, we are in the arts, so I'm looking here. I'm 67 years old, I can give you 2 strong minutes. So you know what I'm saying? But wait, after I'm doing this. That's it. I'm gonna give you 2 strong minutes. That's it. You hit him in the right spot. That's it. That's what I know. That's what I got to do with it. I ain't got nothing but 2 strong. I know what it is. That's the way I was telling them.
Okay. We got to sign them.
So the bottom line, brother, I thank y'all so much for entertaining me, man. Thank you, family. I really hope I didn't say nothing to offend nobody. I tried to tune my mind, but not my heart, man. You know, and I'm just gonna be quiet. If you want to entertain any questions, fine. Yeah.
I think we had a number of different situations going on. Man, once again, man, big shout out to Brother Dennis coming out. You know what I'm saying? Not only just talking about it, but just being about it.
Absolutely.
A lot of times, man, folks just be out here running their mouth. That stuff. Don't nobody really want to hear that. Like you said, the young boys don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Even us as being out there on the front line don't want to hear that. I think it's more like, man, we need more people to step up. More people not to be selling out, standing strong on principle. So, you know what I'm saying? If we have any questions, you know, the audience or, you know, anybody.
Put that out there too. Selling out is also, not doing nothing is a part of that too. So people gotta know that now.
What's that?
Standing, just not doing nothing, being in condition and not doing nothing. You selling out too. Don't think like, oh, ain't nobody paying me. No, if you ain't did nothing, you ain't out here, you ain't doing nothing. You see your condition, you already selling. You selling out. And at this point, and Duane agreement, I think you had said it before, and I can't recall really. But at this point, that's where I do stand is we rolling. I heard Jaleel say that too. We rolling. If you ain't rolling with us, we'll beat you just like you're rolling. Because we gotta move. We gotta move. They can't stand it like it is no more. They gotta move. You gotta move.
That's all through action. You know what I'm saying?
Over
That's all through action. So,
Hey, Captain, let me say this. Is you serious about coming to Flint, man?
No, I'm serious, no, but I would never put that out there.
Okay.
I would never put that out there. And listen, man, and let me tell you something, man. I see serious brothers that I talked to the barbershop. I said, man, listen, man, to the brothers at the barbershop. I said, don't be like the church. Y'all got 300 churches and y'all don't even own a black supermarket and every one of them preachers, parishioners need to eat. You mean to tell me you 300 preachers can't put $10,000 together and get a black supermarket and then put a kosher area for the Muslims in it? Y'all can't do that.
boy, you gonna take some money out of the pocket.
See, but then again, I'm putting the charge. Look at this. I'm putting the charge on the barbers now. Now it's y'all's turn. All these damn barbers, y'all can't do it now. We know the church failed. So why go the same way to church? Why don't y'all show some unity, man? Y'all want to get free haircuts and free book bags to the kids while you let the mama go down to Target. She ain't get nothing free there. How come we always got to get something free? How come the brothers in the barbershop can't get a truck and go to New York and all the barbers say, all right, man, come on. Man, here's my Jeep, and a truck go to New York and buy all the number one pens, all the papers, everything, them kids, crayons and everything. Then the truck come back, he drop your supply here, so when the kids get the haircut, the barber said, now look at, don't go down to Target. Everything you need for that kid, go in that room right there. Spend that money with me. See, we got to put aside. Our biggest problem is lack of unity, man. But if we can just come together. And those barbers just say, you know what? Since the church didn't do it, let us get our own black supermarket. It only gonna take X, Y, and Z. And then don't you know the people be so happy, man, to have their own? Y'all don't even have vegetables in these damn stores. But y'all got all these damn empty ass parking lots. You won't even open up urban gardens. You won't even make gardens, man. We sitting there thinking, don't you know there's going to be a hungry day coming to America? Can't y'all see that? And them white folks in town said they're going to let you come in the neighborhood to buy nothing. They're going to stop you at the border like they did in New Orleans. You're going to want to go across it. They're going to be squad cars. Sorry. Stay in your own neighborhood. What we doing? Stay in your own neighborhood. And look at your neighborhood. What you got in your neighborhood? Chinese restaurants, Asian nail shops, hair stores. Come on, liquor store.
That's the frustrating.
Ain't it frustrating?
Your conditions you should be able to see, like, does this stuff in this community. You should be mad about the gas station, the corner store. We is looking at trying to get a grocery store, but we can't all come together and do the grocery store. And it was trying to be headed by one of the preachers, while the other preachers weren't supported.
See?
So you got folks that really just be saying that stuff, but they envious about when people doing some stuff, man. It's crazy. We ain't gonna never get nowhere. Like, we be doing that little slick stuff. That's why I like that family business that y'all doing. And then looking at y'all working concert together. Ain't nobody stepping on no toes. Everybody respecting each other. Y'all moving like you do. That's how you supposed to be moving.
Ain't
You
bringing
know
up
what
you.
the next group
Ain't bringing up you.
city stuff. And you just playing both sides, true side, both sides, and you just all over the place. Ain't nobody respect you. Right. That's why we be looking at each other all out, even when we sit at the table with each other. We gotta get off that old silly stuff. We gotta be real about it. And we gotta say, like, all right, man, listen, put all my egos to the side, whatever my personal feelings is about you, this group, or whatever we doing, putting that to the side, man, it's for the greater good. That's how you want to respect each other. So I appreciate when good.
So can I get official? Can I get official from everybody in this room? Y'all would accept me if I moved here. Give me a
I might take my shahada.
I saw you talking about bringing up the church.
But we're gonna have the shirt. Brother Khalil is gonna get your size, get the name of your company. Everybody gonna have this on the front. This is our everybody gets like that. But on the back will be your stuff. Now we can give it him. They got Black Lives Matter on there, right? So then we're gonna put this other one. You got another.
Can I get one with that on?
You want the spice? Yeah, this yours. Take that. I don't know. Let me see what size this is. Oh, I'm sorry, this is XL. Well, we're gonna get you squats. We're gonna get you about 2X, 3X. 3X. Okay, give me 6X. No, get him one. Make sure we. And my man's here. What size you at, brother?
He wear large.
Come on, here. Oh. Right.
Ron got that appeal.
There you go. And since we're gonna get you one, right? We're gonna get you one. What size is that?
I respect what you're saying. I respect what you're saying.
Yeah, we got.
I really do.
Brother, I appreciate
you
because
know what I mean. And I'm with. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get down what you're trying to put down.
Appreciate that, brother.
Like I said, I took shots, games, all that, but You know, at some point, you know what I'm saying, you gotta wake up or whatever. It's just a lot of the youth, they cloud and they hide, they hurt. And they've been screwed over by people who's supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? But being one guy, since I move around, I see they still got a little love and respect for me.
That's right. That's right. And we got to use that.
With no question,
we got to use that because you can bring it to the table, man.
I move as much as I can.
Yeah, we got to bring it. See, you'll be good on our mediation team. And we need to talk to brothers because when we get ready to settle some of these beef, see, we gotta have OGs they respect. They know you're genuine, but they ain't gonna listen to everybody. They ain't coming in the room with everybody. They're gonna come with people they respect and they know. And let me tell you something, I love what you said, brother, because you know, we gonna get you to show. We serious about it. We already talked about this. We just getting ready to do the training. Brother said I could come back. We could do the training right here. It's about a 3-4 hour training. Take your time because I'm bringing my man out of Detroit. He gonna teach you CPR. That's something just good to know. Yeah. All right.
I'm with all the stuff you was talking about, brother.
So
if you serious, I'm serious.
No, brother. Listen, that's one thing I would not come do is play with y'all, man. Because we had a critical moment, and I see the momentum. God put this on my heart. I was supposed to be going, brother. Tell you, they were shipping me to Dallas, Texas. And it went south. And I said to my wife, I said, man, one door closed, another one open. I said, he didn't want me in Dallas. He want me up the street. And I looked at, I said, I got to come here. Because y'all on a new renaissance. Y'all on the verge of being an example.
I see it too.
Do you see it?
So we need you, brother. That's the thing, and that's what we have to continue to move back unit. And we can't just, and us ladies, we can't just watch y'all do it either, because we need to move right behind you and right beside you as well.
We ain't leaving you. We ain't leaving.
And we not leaving you. We
I
not
know
leaving
that's
you.
right.
I'm with you. I'm with y'all. Listen, I know there's a lot of people can't say that, but I get out there. And I get out there. I'm activated. I'm always activated. I'm up and I'm out and get back in and the next day I do it all over again, God willing. And I'm just saying that to say that, ladies, we gotta do that too. We gotta be with them. We gotta stand with them. I don't care if it ain't nothing but we making sandwiches and bringing them out there while they standing out there. But we gotta do our part as well, right? We need to
cheers out and cheers back in. Come on, soldiers. Come on, brothers.
We got to. And there's some of us that feel like we need to be out there standing with them, then we got to be standing beside them. We got to be standing right there beside them because that's the type of time I'm on. That's the type of time I'm on, and we need to all be on that. And even if it's that we have our own, listen, because these ladies out here, they out here shooting too. They going crazy too. They doing the same thing, and that's the same thing we need to do. We got to keep that same energy, and we got to have our shirts on. We got to be out there, and we got to be squashing they beat too. Because these helpers out here arguing about some no good nigga, and that's what we need to do. We need to be squashing that right there. We got to do that. And so if we do our part while they taking care of the men, then we got to take care of these ladies because we got to make sure that they get their mental right and they not over here arguing with the next one about some nigga that don't care nothing about damn one of y'all because the girl that he really with, he laying up with, and y'all arguing. It's crazy. And we got to have that mentality. And us as these ladies that are standing beside our men and our brothers, we got to do our part. And we got to make sure that we standing out there. So we keep hearing this. And I know I'm the only lady on the panel right here, but we keep hearing this. Men, we got to do this. Men, we got to do that. Yeah, and it's a lot of ladies watching. But you ladies, y'all need to come stand with me. Y'all need to come with me. Y'all need to come in this other room with me and talk to me. And let me tell y'all about how y'all need to be doing all this and what we can do to squash the beef and what we can do to support our men that's going out there because we need to be supportive. Because if we ain't supporting our men, then what they doing it for? They doing it for us. They doing it to protect us and to protect our children, right? And if we not standing beside them, if we not doing our part to make sure that they feel this love that we have, because we got to continue to love on our black men, man. We got to do that. And if we not standing beside them and we not giving them what they need to keep going out there, to keep getting in the fight, then we not doing our part. Then we lost. And we losing them. And they don't have no reason to fight for us no more. We got to do our part. Amen. So I'm just saying, we got to get a room and give us a room.
Sister, listen, you the best one for it. You're a great recruiter for the women. We're gonna drive them your way. We did a barbershop talk. Where were we at, brother?
We was at Brother Corey's. We was at Brother Corey's.
Man, look here.
Barbershop.
Y'all got to go and look at that barbershop talk we did. And some dude came in there talking out the side of his neck. And everybody, I'm in the chair getting a haircut. And I said, oh, he done messed around and stepped on the lioness tail. She was patient. You can see her leg shaking. She's just waiting for her move.
She whooped him.
Man, when she lit in on my man, everybody in the place applauded.
The whole barbershop.
Did the barbershop applaud? And I know online they loved it because she kept it real, and we always need that kind of woman to let us know that, you know, you're not going to sit there and talk about, well, see, women don't like, women today like to be independent. She said, wait, you generalizing this statement. Now, wait a minute. All women don't want to. Here's the key thing she said. Why don't you ask the question, why do women want to be independent? Oh, I said, oh my God, that's a $64 question. See, you ain't answered that question. Why women want to be independent? Because you sorry ass. Oh, she went at it. Did she go hard?
She went in.
Won't go work.
Look, I thought I was at Leon's speech. I thought I was at Mike Tyson, Leon's speech.
Man, that man coming out there with his tail tucked between his legs.
See, what it is, I don't mind. I have grown, right, to be accountable for the things that I've done or am doing, right? So accountability is not a thing that I have a problem with. But I have a problem with people not looking at both sides of the coin, right? So you're not going, I'm at the barbershop. There's only a couple of us women in there, you know, and they were pretty quiet about it, but I'm not that person. I'm pretty bold with mine, and I'm not going to listen. I'm just going to say it like I said. But the problem is that he said, he was making all these generalizations and saying that women are too independent, and they being independent, and they basically he was calling us sorry. You know, basically, I'm just in a nutshell. He was just calling us sorry. And I interrupted. Yeah, and we were, and that was the problem. And then we needed to be shamed about some things that we were doing and all of this. And hey. And so I waited and I let him get it all out. I raised my hand. And Dennis gave me the opportunity. And I said, listen, the problem is you can't put that on all of us. I'm not the woman that want to be independent. I don't like taking my own trash out. I don't like going to the grocery store. I don't like, but I know that's part of my life.
No, you'll never take trash.
And I don't like cooking my own gas. However, what's the reason that we have to do that? Why do we have to be that independent? Because y'all sorry. Because you will sit your ass in the truck with me and I'll go to the gas station and you won't get out and pump my gas. So how I gonna get in there? Well, that's all I'm saying.
I got a question out here. I got a question. I got a real question. Let's wrap this up. I got to go, fellas. We ain't finna do no more man bashing. That's cool. That's done and over with. This is about social justice and water. Y'all done took it to a whole nother level. Yeah, cause I ain't gonna let y'all man back.
Why you in there? Give me a back like a mile.
Right. I mean, you smoke wood too? Yeah, I know. That was good. Y'all got any party shot, Captain? They ain't got no party shot. Right, better believe we out.